Alpha Wing has cleared the fighter bay.
Don't do us here! All fighters, break off! We need to haul ass!
Beta on your net, Lima 020.
Our boarding party is looking at the boss. Bloody usual suits, they are enormous guns. It's got some kind of power armor. Gaia, it's got a fucking sword.
I didn't sign up for this shit. We're getting out of here.
Marines, you must get through the airlock. Reading an explosive device is on the dot.
You're spiked.
Detonation detected. Marines, report your status.
This is tactical team. We have suffered major casualties. The explosion but on several platforms and left multiple platforms disturbed.
Retreat!
Tank 1
Some
low.
Russians going to hell.
Tank 1 empty.
Those gift passes bit off a bit more than they could chew. Everyone driven to attack the Bassoons. Didn't we think they were working for the Tevs?
Passenger, this is Captain Sorensen of the United Earth Frigate Indus, 2nd Fleet Mars. We've received your distress signal and are here to provide assistance. What is your status?
You are speaking to Captain Abreeze of the Passenger. The GEF boarding party inflicted damage to our fuel processes. We have multiple cases of radiation exposure and flash burns. Our emergency response teams have been overwhelmed.
We've got a medical transport on 2-minute standby, Captain Apri. Our medics have been brought up to speed on Vasudan physiology. Permission to proceed?
Permission denied, Captain Sorensen. Under GTVA protocol, we cannot submit our vessel to your authority.
We're not asking for your surrender, Captain Apri. Federation policy is to offer support to all neutral vessels in distress. Our hands are open.
This is not a neutral vessel. Under the Deneb Convention, your government is designated a hostile power. As such, we have no choice but to respond to any attempted boardings with force.
Are the Vasudans rejecting our medical assistance? Are they insane?
Think about it this way, Levi. The Gefs are a lot like their hammer of light. Would you let a bunch of Vasudans board your ship after an attack by those nutjobs?
If we're falling back on technicalities, Captain, last I checked, our government was at war with the General Terran Assembly, not the Imperium. Consider this a token of friendship from a society that shares much in common with your own.
Your actions are honorable, Captain Sorensen, but I cannot help but doubt your intentions. We are quite aware of the role that your ship played in the capture of the GTL Act2-4.
I'm sure you'll see the difference between action against an enemy target and a mission of mercy, Pessajet. Scan the Litman. You'll find no weapons on board.
Your medical ship appears to be what it seems, Captain Sorensen. Our situation leaves us little choice. Send the Litman, and only the Litman, to the port dock. I will have a Marine detachment meet your medical team at the airlock.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Indus War Gods, looks like we're privileged enough to witness the first contact between Earth and Vasudan forces in 50 years.
I'd do anything just to talk to one of them. I've read stories about their culture. Martin Manto said that Khonsu was closer to spiritual enlightenment than many of our elders.
Spiritually enlightened or not, their beams are going to be just as terrifying when they're aimed at our ships. Until they're helping us kick the Tevs out of our system, I'm not going to expect a damn thing from them.
Really, Captain? There's no curiosity down under all that Martian gruff? Permit me to quote the Intel database. A civilization of philosophers, artists, and scholars. You're not intrigued?
Once attended a lecture given by one of the Epsilon 4. He answered questions afterwards about what it was like being one of the only Vasudans left in Sol. Of course, they say the Vasudans were with the Fedayeen.
Captain Sorensen, we're picking up a jump point forming nearby. Hostile configuration.
New contact! Orient now!
Looks like the Tev's got the distress call too. All crew to battle stations. Fighter wings take up escort positions around the Indus and Lidman. Do not engage unless fired upon.
Weapons hold, Alpha and Beta wings. Do not fire until I say. Keep away from those Tev ships.
GTCV are 2Z Federation vessels. The passage is under our protection. Stand down your vessels and leave, or we'll open fire.
This is Captain Sorensen of the United Earth Frigate Indus. Negative on your demands, Arethusa. We are engaged in a medical mission and will defend ourselves.
Damn Tev! Get off my tail! Indus control permission to open fire!
Don't make me laugh, Captain. Medical mission. This is clearly another attack of our logistics by a desperate military. Leave now or suffer the consequences.
Captain Price, we can vouch for their action thus far. The Indus and her fighters assisted in driving off an attack by the Gaian effort. We are transmitting logs.
Acknowledged, Messenger. We believe some Gaian effort cells may be working for the Federation's Black Ops unit. This is likely an attempt on your ship.
Their teams aboard my vessel are unarmed. They did not exhibit any suspicious behavior.
These records seem to check out, Captain Aprius. But we've got bigger problems. Your ship's hull integrity is dropping fast, and we need to deploy teams to help contain internal fires and lock down damage. Captain Sorensen, unless you want to firefight aboard a dying ship, withdraw at once. Your rescue efforts are neither welcome nor needed. We will use force if necessary.
We don't have time for this, Captain. These Vasudans are in need of medical assistance. Unless you want to explain to the Emperor why his soldiers had to die, let us do our jobs.
Oh, Indus control, I'm getting red lights on my board. Long-range communications are down.
Captain Sorensen, we don't have time for this posturing. The clock's ticking on the Passaget's reactor failure.
Captain Price, we're picking up massive jamming from your corvette. What is the meaning of this?
A little, insurance policy, Captain Sorensen. You want to do things your way? Fine. Help out the Vasudans, but no reinforcements.
GTT Samson, on approach to dock with the Passaget's ventral airlock. Federation forces, if you are armed, hold your fire.
In which case, Captain, I'm sure you won't object to us returning the favor. Comms, hit them with a wide-frequency blast. Jam their long-range communications.
This is Medic Team Alpha. We're experiencing massive internal detonations. The Vasudan engineers were patching up, say the internal safeties have failed.
Damn! We're scrambling repair equipment from the Indus, but it's gonna be several minutes until we can load a shuttle. Do the best you can with what you have.
We've got repair technicians with heavy field equipment on board the Samson. Standard procedure for answering a stricken vessel. You could learn from our example next time.
And your transport carries only the barest medical facilities, Captain. If your engineers save the ship, we'll save the crew. Once the Passaget is out of danger, we'll work from there.
Touché, Captain Sorensen. Here's my proposal. We stand down, and you do the same. We pool our resources, repair the Vasudan ship, and then we go our separate ways. The Vasudans continue to help us supply, while you gain favor with Khonsu for your surrender negotiations.
Indus, I'm reading a global weapons power down on the Arethusa and Tev fighters. They've disengaged and are pulling back.
What extraordinary times we live in. Very well, Captain Price. The welfare of the Passaget will take precedence for now. However, if you do anything to compromise the ceasefire, we will not hesitate to open fire.
Red and black ants moving bowling alleys together from Caterpillar Team.
This is doing my head in. You sitting this close to Tev's without shots firing?
This is Medic Team Alpha. Engineer crisis teams have managed to seal off compromised areas. Radiation levels are falling and we've managed to secure most of the surviving crew. Good thing those techs came when it did.
Normally I'd be itching to open fire, but do you think this is how it's supposed to be? That maybe this is the first sane thing that's happened since the Tevs showed up?
Ever the romantic, Laporte. Frankly, this is absurd. Sooner or later, we'll be shooting at each other again. Let's just get it over with.
If you ask me, a little danger brings a certain buzz to first meetings. Has anyone ever told you how lovely you sound on the comm? Lieutenant Fabian Canati, at your service. 181st Bloodhound Squadron. GTD Carthage. Call sign Anansi. Goodness knows why.
Captain Lorna Sims, Indus War Gods. Now you'll know who I am when our little hug box brings up an
It is the way of things. You must choose.
Sub-Lieutenant Noemi Laporte, Indus War Gods. Have a care with Captain Sims, Tev. You don't want her on the wrong side of the IFF spectrum.
So I've heard. Your squadron has Admiral Steele's attention, Sub-Lieutenant Laporte. You lot seem determined to win this war all by yourself.
It's always good to verify our strategic impact from a human source, Lieutenant Kerniati. How about some hard numbers? What's the bounty on my head?
Big enough to make me take notice, and my father's a shipping magnate. The catch is, of course, that no one survives to collect, or I'm sure I would have heard reports of your charms.
This is a bad line of work for an amateur Casanova, Lieutenant. When you get shot down out here, it's dangerously literal.
Medic Team Alpha here. Preliminary triage has been completed. We're moving the critically wounded onto the Littman for emergency care. I wish to state for the record that the conduct of the GTVA engineering teams has been more than exemplary.
Acknowledged, MT Alpha. Good work. Well, Captain Price, it seems thanks are in order.
Eyes up, pilots. New contact. It's the heavy frigate Hesperia.
Priority message to Captain Aldred. Tell him to cease fire immediately. The Arethusa is a non-combatant.
Scorpio Wing and Arethusa have gone weapons locked.
Mayday! Mayday! Anansi is hit!
Pure poetry.
Arethusa has opened fire.
Bank 2 low.
All batteries return fire. Fighters form a
Bank
defensive
2 empty.
Pilots, evasive maneuvers. Watch the fire. It's close quarters at the moment.
The Arethusa is going down. That last volley got her magazines exhausted.
Surrender, you traitorous sons of bitches! Hold your fire!
Hesperia, this is the Indus. The Arethusa was assisting our humanitarian mission for the Pessaget. You've just destroyed a non-combatant under a ceasefire.
Ceasefire? Pardon me, Captain Sorensen, but I got no notice from command that such a ceasefire was in place. Admiral Calder deployed us to secure the area after we lost contact with you. The Arethusa was a hostile target and by definition a combatant.
Seems like the status quo has returned to this little patch of space, Laporte. How do you fancy the outcome of this humanize the enemy experiment?
I can't complain, one. We're still alive. But I can't help but wonder what would have happened if it had lasted a little longer. Still, I guess best intentions aren't enough to stop the fighting. It's too late for that. This war won't end until one side wins, and I'd rather it be us.
Laporte, we'll make a Martian of you yet.
Accept the transmission. Tell no one.
Oh, what the hell?
Pilots, this mission is over. Bring yourselves in. Gamma Wing from the Hesperia will take over escort duty.